An absolutely box office day in the Championship yesterday. Loads of goals, loads of stories. Here are my hot takes. 1 8-goal thriller. Now, I hate to say he told you so, but Sam Parkin's first mouth-watering matchup on the Championship Check-In podcast on Thursday was Southampton versus Norwich. And it did not disappoint with a 4-4 draw. Surely, only 2 rounds in the match of the season so far. Norwich led 1-0, then Southampton led 2-1, then Norwich led 3-2. Norwich looked to have won it 4-3 in minute 84, but Saints equalised for a 4-4 draw in the 97th minute. There were 2 penalties for Adam Armstrong, a worldie from Gabriel Sara, 46 shots and 12 big chances in the game. Truly brilliant entertainment. We thought Southampton might be fun this season given their star power combined with the Russ Martin football philosophy we've come to know as very pure and attacking. Still plenty of shaping of that Saints squad to come in the next 3 weeks, but certainly a box office start. Norwich have been a nice surprise, and their fans have quickly gone from kind of downtrodden and depressed to a lot more optimistic about the style, shape, and certainly some of the players in their new look team under David Wagner. Outstanding stuff. More of the same from both, please. 2, perfect pair. Now, 9 teams won on week 1. 2 of those teams followed that up with defeat. 5 of them drew, leaving us with only 2 teams on 6 points at the end of round 2. That would be Leicester City and, by God, Ipswich bloody town. That's right, Ipswich are early leaders in the Championship with win number 2 coming at home to Stoke City. If last week was clinging on for dear life at the end against Sunderland, this was probably a bit more of a comfortable routine victory with goals from Luke Wolfenden and Caden Jackson. Stoke were limited to just 2 shots on target, with Town getting 2 in front to kill the game off on 81 minutes. Now, given the entire 11 for Ipswich were at the club in League One last season, it's definitely a case of cashing in on momentum from that promotion. If it's a surprise to see Ipswich up there, then it's absolutely no surprise to anybody to see Leicester up there with 6 points out of 6. Now, this can always go one of 2 ways, but Leicester actually seem to be nowhere near top gear just yet, and that either means they're going to go up a level or 2 more and just decimate everybody else, or maybe the level isn't quite as high as everyone imagined. We'll find out in the fullness of time. Job done at Huddersfield, clean sheet, and it was one of the new faces, Stefan Mavididi, who nicked the vital goal at the vital time with the game heading into the final 20 minutes. Foxes aren't fully formed yet, but the winning habit looks to have started. 3, Willy Or Won't He? And much of the build-up for Leeds' game at Birmingham surrounded the commitment of a couple of their star players to stick out their contracts with the club whilst down in the Championship. The main protagonist here was winger Willy Gnonto, who, despite training and being told he would not be sold by the club, felt he was, quote, unable to play in the Carabao Cup in midweek and wasn't going to be travelling, supposedly, to Birmingham yesterday. We all waited, as we do, until 2 p.m. Teams were released. Gnonto was not in the squad. Neither was Luis Sinisterra. And with the backdrop of the missing in action stars, Leeds actually went on with a slightly weaker team than we would have expected at this point in the season to lose 1-0 to a stoppage time Lukas Jukovic penalty. Now, contrary to that lovely feel-good optimism of the conquerors there, Birmingham, it's all a bit chaotic for Leeds, isn't it? It seems takeover, delayed recruitment of players and manager, and that has them really up against it right now. I wouldn't ever want to accuse any professional of refusing to play. I wasn't in the room, I don't know what's been said, but it does seem a very tricky situation for Daniel Farke to negotiate. He took the hard line. I remember with Cantwell and Buendia at Norwich, they both ended up staying in similar kind of situation and contributed to a promotion. It's a different time and place with different players, but how will this current changing room angst play out for Leeds? However it does, it needs sorting out pretty darn quick. 4, Rangers redemption. Well, look, it was only round 2, but if any manager needed a win this week, it was Gareth Ainsworth at QPR. Myself and Sam Parkin both had them as our cause for concern on the Championship check-in, and hopefully they've put some fears to rest with a great 2-1 win away at Cardiff. Youngster Sinclair Armstrong gave QPR the lead, with Kenneth Powell giving them a 2-goal cushion into the second half. Ike Ugbo made sure it was a nervy ending, but Rangers held out and came back with not just the 3 points, but a massive morale boost. The run going into this game was 4 wins in 31 Championship matches, with last season's absolutely rancid streak from autumn added to some significant exits in pre-season and that horrible 4-0 defeat on opening day as the backdrop going into this game. Experienced centre-back Steve Cook came in during the week and was thrown straight in for a winning debut. Yes, it's only 1 win, but in terms of confidence and spirit, it's absolutely something to build on here. Rangers play their first home games of the season back-to-back this coming week, facing Norwich in the Carabao Cup, and then leaders Ipswich at the weekend. Can they follow up with a couple more good performances to add to this foundation that they've given themselves by winning at Cardiff? 5, Boro Breakdown. Yes, I realised I've borrowed the name of an excellent Middlesbrough-specific podcast there, but it's very deliberate. Friend of the channel, Dana, and her gang on the show mean breakdown, as in they're going to break down the action. I mean breakdown as Saturday saw further evidence of the literal breaking down of last season's playoff semi-final team for Boro under Michael Carrick. They just looked a bit lost, didn't they, on their way to a 3-0 defeat against Coventry, the team they went toe-to-toe with in the playoff semi-final back in May. The worst part of it is, in my opinion, Coventry didn't really even need to be in top gear to cruise to 3 points here. Very annoyingly for the Boro fans, the names we kept talking about during this game were actually not on the pitch in red, but players who did so much for the Boro last season, all conspicuous in their absence. No Ryan Giles down the left, he's off at Luton now. No Cameron Archer or Aaron Ramsey, who came so successfully on loan from Villa last time. And most conspicuously, no Chuba Akpom, the Championship player of the season and top scorer in the division, who seems to be, at time of recording, very near to an exit very soon. It's not terminal yet for Boro, but it is a horrible start, back-to-back defeats, and the team looking a shadow of last season's. No goals either. With just under 3 weeks from the window closing, it needs to be a very good 3 weeks for Boro, or the great work of last season will quickly be lost and not leveraged. There you go, guys. That is my 5 hot takes from round 2 in the Championship. Get involved down there in the comments and let me know your thoughts on any of those topics. If your team didn't get a mention here, fear not and click here to give yourself a reminder for episode 2 of the Championship Check-In podcast on Thursday night. You can come and join me and Sam Parkin live 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. for a full roundup of the goings on in the best league in the world.